and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public to speak on the agenda, so we'll move on to consent items. I get a motion to approve the minutes from the February 17th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Anything change on the personnel recommendations?
No changes.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve the personnel recommendations as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Financial reports.
I just want to touch on just a couple things real quick. The payment to Knox for our special ed split, that is 3 months worth, so that's why that's so high. The Culver Community Schools one, that is we paid this in November, but we had a lost check issue, and so that was all voided and taken care of, so then I had to reissue payment. And then I have it on here for the explanation, but this is usually when we start our fund transfer from education to operations. And so I started doing that from March to December, the 100,000 for 10 months to get the $1 million. But we're gonna kind of pause that for now, just because with so much with the state, with SB1, financials right now are good. We don't need to transfer from education to operations, and so that's a good thing. And so I want to see, let it play out a little bit longer, just to see what we look like. The good thing is the resolution is wrote to state up to $1 million, so we don't have to transfer $1 million. We can transfer up to, and we can do it in one large sum. We can do it as 10, like I've been doing, like I like to do, or we can do 2. So we're not handcuffed to one thing. But for now, I'm just kind of sitting steady, just because I want to see how things kind of play out for the next couple months. So.
Questions? Okay, I get a motion for the approval of payroll and vendor claims in the amount of $1,484,685.39.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bus purchase.
Yeah, so it's that time of year. We've we usually do this at the beginning of the year, kind of a December, January, even February at a time. We're doing it in March because what we're kind of doing is we're just getting one bus. And we're just getting one that we really need. This will be very, very beneficial to Jim and the transportation department there. So, tonight just asking for your approval of one 14-passenger yellow. All the MPVs we have now are white, and so we're getting a yellow MPV with a lift. We want to make sure we have the lift so we can utilize that yellow MPV till its full potential. They can make stops out on the highway and the roads instead of having to pull into driveways. That's what makes the difference in a yellow MPV and a white MPV.
Okay. That was my question.
Yeah, I was getting to there.
So yellows can stop on the highway, whites cannot?
Yeah, yellows are the only ones that have a stop arm.
Okay.
Yep.
And the proper lighting and the stop arm to be able to make on-road pickups. With the white, we have to either get into a driveway or a pickup point in an approved parking lot.
Yep.
How does that affect the children who would need the lift if we're on the highway, on the road?
If it's a lift situation, then that's when, we may get into a parking lot or
Okay.
We probably utilize that to make other arrangements.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why we didn't get the lift because we have to use this bus with the lift every time. We're getting the lift in case we need it, and that way then we could utilize this bus to its full potential.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at, we have one bus to trade in, an older bus, 72 passenger. But for now, and you've heard us state before, like last year we got 2 white MPVs. So we have 6 out there right now. This will kind of make 7 MPVs. You know, we could probably use 10 of them, to be honest with you. And so this kind of adds to that, keeps everything, you know, still, you know, well, like we have it, and adds to what we need right now.
And we have enough buses for our regular buses for our regular routes.
Yep. So asking your approval for the 1 14-passenger yellow MPV with a lift from Midwest Transit.
Just one question. I looked through, I didn't see it. Did Jim have a preference on which one to choose? I mean, just from
As far preference
the
on.
2 suppliers.
So yes.
That's his first choice?
No, Midwest Transit is always Jim's first choice, and because I stated this last year too, a lot of our fleet out there is already from Midwest Transit. They're already ICs, and so it makes it easier for me to work on, keeping the same filters, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So, and it just so happens that they are the lowest bidder and win the bid, so.
Good. We get a motion for the approval of the 14-passenger yellow MPV with lift.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. New Apple lease.
It's also that time of year for the Apple leases. We did this last year with quite a few iPads, and so we're doing it. Billy and Mr. Orcus kind of want to do it a little bit different, and I'm completely okay with it. I actually like this idea in this kind of new way that they want to do it. But instead of 4-year lease like we did last time, which is completely fine as well, we're going to do a 2-year lease with Apple for iPads, and then Apple just came out with their new Apple Neo laptop. And so the idea behind it is the Apple Neo laptops will then go to the freshmen, and then that laptop will stay with them throughout their 4 years. And so then next year we'll do the same, next year we'll do the same. So instead of them being tied to 4-year leases, now it'll just be 2-year leases. And then when they leave the high school, so when freshmen become seniors and they graduate, then we'll look at, you know, buyback plans or trade-ins or whatever. But it doesn't tie us to that longer 4-year span, cut down on interest, cut down on the amount of payments we're making. So that's the plan for the new Apple lease, iPads and Apple Neos. And 2-year lease, that's your total cost, $134,989. 2 payments is $71,322.24.
So in the past, we did 4 years.
We've done 4,
Just
yeah.
roughly, was a 4-year lease twice that amount?
Roughly, yeah,
Okay.
roughly. It drops the payments down a little bit, but, so probably like double plus a little bit more. Cause like your 4-year lease
You just
payments.
carry one, carry costs.
Yep,
Okay.
they're in the 60s opposed to your
Yeah.
70s, so.
Okay.
Did they give you a rationale for moving to laptops away from the iPads?
The new Apple Neo, and Billy could tell you better, so, you know, we could send Billy an email to kind of lay out a description, but the way the new Apple Neo lays out is much more user-friendly, has the keypad right there with, and can really be utilized in the classroom better.
Yeah, it's an attached keyboard.
Yep, it's
Much
attached
like
instead of
these
us having to buy
devices.
a case with a keyboard.
With the iPads, you get that case, and the keyboard is in the case, and then it sort of attaches Bluetooth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these will only be, so the Apple Neos then will only be at the high school level, so everybody, basically 8th grade and under, will still use iPads just like they do now.
Does this include the software, all the software needed for the school, for the students?
For the most part, yes, because we utilize the Google Suite in most instances.
So do we
So
own
it's-
that, or is that their lease on that as well?
No, that's what we purchased separately then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not included on the lease. The only additional cost, and this is another good thing, the only additional cost is cases, cause we don't wanna
I
get
saw
them
that,
from
I
Apple.
thought the line item for that in there.
Yeah, we don't wanna get, now the iPads come with the cases,
Yeah.
but for the Apple Neo, we will have to get those cases, but you're
200
talking
cases.
$20 to $30 per, like,
Yeah.
we're in the hundreds of dollars opposed to thousands for that. Cause by not having to get the new iPad cases with the keyboard and everything like that, it drops that case cost down quite a bit. Similar to like what Kelly has on his.
Good?
Yep.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the new Apple lease?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resolution for the transfer of real property.
Yeah, so I put the resolution in there, in the board packet, and this is for basically the sidewalk project that the town is doing. And so the easements that the sidewalks are going on, we need to basically release or turn that over to the town, and so that's what the resolution is.
Will they maintain those sidewalks for us?
I mean, some of them are here and connecting to the ones that we already have,
Mm-hmm.
and so we are maintaining those.
So.
What I'm asking is if we cede that
Right.
property to them, then will they take care of the sidewalks, or do we still have to take care of the sidewalks?
So,
As far as repairs or cleaning and salting?
Yeah, whatever,
Salt.
whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, snow removal.
I guess my question back to that would be, if they're adding sidewalk here and then adding sidewalk down, in front of
Mm-hmm.
high school, are we going to expect them to just clean this and that down there, where we still have to clean this one and the long one? So we're leaving, while maintenance is doing it, they're leaving that and that.
No, who owns this one here? Is that on
That's
school grounds or
That's
that
ours.
town?
That's ours.
That's ours right there.
Our
Okay.
maintenance and grounds clean.
Oh.
That one and that one.
So they own. Well, that's the thought I had
You've
is
stymied me with
from that.
We're gonna have to ask.
If we lease it
We're gonna have to talk to
Well,
Joe.
We're not,
We're not leasing, I'm sorry.
right, basically giving them the
We're
right.
giving them
Yeah,
the right, we're giving the ownership of
yes.
it,
Right.
correct.
Right.
And then
Do
they're,
they need it for their grant purpose?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
They
Yeah.
need to own it for their grant purpose?
yeah.
that's our understanding, yes.
well, I mean, that raises a question about, liability issues. I mean, if some reason that has issues with the sidewalk and they fall and somebody hurts themselves
Mhm.
in front of the high school, that theoretically North Judson Town owns, that, I mean, I have no problem doing it.
Mhm.
I find it odd that you have to lease it over to them versus, I don't know, but
Well,
there are those questions of
yeah.
maintenance issues, liability.
I'm
issues.
thinking for them to be using town dollars to do the project, I would think they'd have to have
because
Well, I'm thinking long-term liability.
when we did
the
that
ownership of it.
other part out there, that was state. The state told us we had to,
Okay,
and they basically told us we had to seed them 18 inches or whatever it was,
basically, I'm thinking these are the two similar situations.
But I just would like to know
That's a great question.
who
And those
owns
are
it and who takes care of it and what are the
Don't-
ramifications
And those are two
as far as.
questions.
Where's it going anyway? I
So-
tried to look at those plat maps.
So it's kind of a multi-button, so one here, and then in front of the bus garage, and then connects into this one in front of the office, and then down in front of the high school, cause it'll run to basically the ditch on the west side of the middle school, and then we'll jog across and go up, the road next to Doug's house. And then the other one is.
Division?
Is that Division?
Yeah.
Road to the west of your house?
Yeah.
Then the other one will go
Campbell.
straight up here, Campbell, but
On
then
both-
how,
One side or both sides?
just this side,
Okay.
just the west side.
Yeah.
But how now it wraps up and goes up around the elementary, they are going to connect it in that grass patch in front. So where the culvert's at, they're going to build that culvert up, and then the sidewalk will run all the way across that. So you don't have to go up around the elementary or get on the road
Okay.
to go up farther towards the highway.
And but on this side, it stays on the side we're sitting on, so on the south side.
Oh, it doesn't go in front of the bus driver, you said?
It goes
the
in
new
front
one.
of on the new bus
Yeah.
driver side.
The new one, yeah.
It kind of goes right to that.
They're gonna try some heavy duty traffic stuff in there, right? Where the buses going through?
Right. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, they know-
all-
They know.
They have
They
all
have
that
their-
information.
They have their engineer and everything
Yeah.
that they're working with,
Okay.
so. And we can, and Joe and
Yeah,
Andrew,
cool.
you know, they welcomed questions, and so we're glad to send them about the maintenance.
Yeah,
And-
we run up there and see him tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
and
ask,
liability, so.
get that information
Yeah.
for you.
So what do we wanna do with this? How soon do they need to know? I mean, if we're waiting on answers, are we gonna table this?
From my understanding, it was,
I mean, if there's concerns about liability and maintaining,
It's probably no different than what we did in the past. I don't see a problem doing it, it's just,
That's
it
what
would be interesting to know what those responses are.
But yeah,
If
yeah.
they come back and say, no, it's your problem.
I wanna
yes,
see what
You guys
their
gotta clean them
response
yourselves.
is.
Then
I
we just
guess,
have to know that.
I'm gonna say there's no way they're gonna clean them, they don't do them in town.
I don't think so, but
The liability, and if they start flaking off, cracking off, and they gotta be repaired, then what?
so, we could find, let me ask this question from an opposite perspective. Whatever that answer ends up being, or is it gonna keep us from getting the sidewalks?
Get approval.
Yeah,
Probably.
are we gonna not get the sidewalks, I guess is my question. You know,
How many years have we had this school out here without sidewalks?
Yeah.
It hasn't hindered anyone yet.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they shouldn't be done.
yeah,
I'm just saying there are some questions that need to be answered, that's all.
okay. Well, that sounds to me like you wanna table it and let us get that feedback for you.
Could they sponsor us to maintenance it? That's a weird way of asking it, but like
That's another
contract
thought.
us to take care of it,
Right.
in Doug's situation, if it starts breaking and
If
flaking.
we transfer his real property for them to put the sidewalk in, they put it in 5 years, can they transfer it back to the corporation so all those issues go away then?
Let me ask this question, maybe this will help us. Every time that we've had to bust up that sidewalk on the front of the side of the elementary school because of that water,
right.
who's,
The town has repaired that, right?
the town's repaired that, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I don't know if that helps us totally right now, but that's multiple times, I know, that's at one spot, they gotta get access, and they bust that up, they replaced that.
Personally, doesn't matter what the answers are. I'd like to know what the answers are, but it wouldn't cause me not to vote for this.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. Whatever the answers are. It'd be nice to know, just
Yeah.
for future planning.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, I'm
still
being totally
surprised.
honest, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that at all, it's an excellent question. So,
I have reached out to Joe, so we may get these answers still in this meeting.
okay.
Can we suspend this for a minute while we're waiting on some answers?
Yeah.
And move on?
Let's do that.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Mhm,
good move.
yes.
Okay. Proposed 2027 band trip.
They are going, hoping to be able to go to Cleveland. So, out-of-state trip, overnight. And I know Mr. Workers had sent me details.
They doing fundraising for that or something?
They have funds, the answer's probably, and they have the funds, yep, they've built up their funds. Trip highlights are Cleveland sightseeing, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the House of Blues. 22nd to the 24th of April of '27.
Well, that's planning in advance.
Yeah,
I don't reject any trips kids wanna take, I mean, that's fine. However, I would like to just put this out here. When the band takes a trip every other year, if the choir wants to take a trip, they have to take a trip in between. So you end up with music kids and music parents having to pay for a trip every single year. That won't happen. They're expensive. It's just something to keep in mind. I
Okay.
would,
Other year. Essentially.
we might say, fine for the 2027, but then they need to go on a band every 4 years and rotate it like the Olympics.
Complete break,
Yeah.
okay.
Because otherwise you're ending up with parents having to pay $1,000 a year for kids to go on a trip.
Right.
And that's a lot of money.
'Cause
They
there's a
can't
lot-
raise that much money.
And there's a lot of overlap between those two.
There are
Yeah.
for those children.
Okay.
There's a lot of overlap.
Okay, yeah, we can game plan that out. That's not a bad suggestion.
So we can approve this one
Yeah, that's fine.
with the recommendation
Yeah.
that you'll
We'll talk that
pass
through.
along the information.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions about the trip?
No.
Can I get a motion to approve the proposed 2027 band trip?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Monetary donations.
Yeah, so we just have one from Good Oil Company, and again, like they did last time, they just stated athletic department. And so Mike then worked with them to reach out, and, hey, did you actually specify or wanna specify for this, so. But they donated from the Roundup program, $680.88.
Nice. Can I get approval for the monetary donations, to accept the monetary donations?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Student Activity Center.
Really, I just wanted to keep this in front of us, and we can, and make sure we're updated. I forwarded you Don Duncan's last email where we've got, in writing what he's held in reserve that can still work on our behalf. And then I also emailed out to you, Sheila, I was told, saw this presentation in person a few years back. And that came from Logan Radke, who was doing an internship with Dalton in this office, and so he gave a presentation to 2 board members, I believe. It wasn't a board meeting. But for discussion's sake, because I still, as we drill down a little further about where people are, this is a bigger ordeal. And so, those examples, yeah, that's kind of what and that's what I want to make sure that what is it we're after? Because when we kind of pivoted with this topic a month ago, and you get school personnel seeing that, the excitement goes, and people jump at that and think, this is what they start thinking. I'm like,
Maybe call Shaq.
pump the brakes. And so that's, if we can talk a little bit about that. I know without Cameron here, I know he's got thoughts on that too. But, so I guess the question we kind of left hanging over the last time, do you have more of a sense of how much money you're willing to spend on if the intention is either simply get the 2 classrooms freed up and get our weight room facilities into a separate structure versus this being probably a bigger thought, right?
Yeah,
Is
this
that-
will be more costly than our original project.
Than what we
Yeah.
have already said we're not doing.
Yeah,
Have you had the time to look around some more, have some discussion with coaches, principals on the idea of a larger building that could house a weight room and then some other activities and have room to section off in the future?
Yes, and those conversations came to me in various settings because again, they get a little excited, they hear the possibility, but this is the possibility they hear and think. And so I'll listen to you. I will listen to you, and in a perfect world, yeah, we're all on the right track there.
I'm gonna apologize, I've been extremely busy. Can you summarize that for me?
Oh, let me pass it over to you.
Got
Yeah,
it,
they went-
23, 6 to 8 million to put a field house in. That's what that summarized.
This is for a
From a
field
couple,
house.
well, it's looking at other schools,
Yeah.
our size and
Student
what they
activity
have.
center, field house, various names.
Yeah. So we took trips to Rossville and Carroll, myself, Logan, Nick Radke, and Mike Sarkozy to look at what they had, and coming back, and Logan done a lot of research on cost and what to put in there and size. And yeah, like Sonny said, 6 to 8 million, we could potentially have.
In 23.
Right. Could have a building that had, multiple basketball courts, possibly not a full, but part of the indoor track, weight room.
So a great idea, just something there's no way possible.
That's kind of
Right,
what, yes.
we don't have the funds for something of that magnitude.
I think the other thing, I did talk to my son, they go to Rossville, so I called them. That was their third gym they built.
Right.
So they've got 3 gyms, counting the field house.
Yeah.
So we've got 3, they talk about comparable schools.
Right.
Now, I mean, he said, well, you don't put wear and tear on the good gym. Well, you got a big investment on that gym. They better stand some wear and tear. But comparable, I mean, that was their third gym they put up.
Yeah.
So they count, there's 3 there, we've got 3 up here. So from that standpoint, we're
Right.
comparable, I guess.
Yeah, and the way they did theirs
Granted, they have
is
other
it's
utilities in that building.
it's attached to the building. It's right off their athletic wing and where their like softball, baseball fields are. It's Rossville's is very nice and done very
Yeah.
well for what it is and the size of their school.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to kind of get a sense, a little temperature here. I think I can go back to our staff and say, yeah, you gotta get your heads out of the clouds, because here's realistically what we're trying to accomplish is seeing if it's feasible to get just the weight room into its own separate building. Because I think that is the most cost-effective route forward for us. In that regard, I think the notion of plumbing it just really, in my opinion, doesn't make sense. Because I don't think we're gonna build it large enough to worry about something down the road. That's my thought. I think it will serve its purpose, but serve its purpose well with quality and get us 2 empty classroom spaces to be repurposed.
If it's not a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
what Indiana statutes are we looking at architecturally?
That's what Don is working on that for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what,
because what kind of occupancy can it be labeled, can it have, exactly? Yep,
And built as cheaply as possible,
Right.
but still be aesthetically
can it,
nice.
yes, function, yes, right, can it fit in and look suitable based on where
And
we
it
might
would be
decide to place
detached,
it?
correct? It would be detached, it wouldn't be
Yes,
close.
that's what I think, based on what I feel like. And we're at the point where financially, in the here and now, and with the future, that this is we feel this is the right, based on the dollars that we have
Right.
in this bond.
Yeah.
This is the right approach. Like he and I, we sat in his office this afternoon talking, and I feel like there's 2 choices here. We do this, it is a singular purpose, but done well. And we can afford that. Or if that notion of can we have that in the future, do we not do anything now? So the choices are do the weight room facility and free up those classrooms and finally have a nice weight room, or wait with the hopes of doing that sometime in the future. That's essentially where we're at.
What's do we have available, between 5 and 700?
Yeah, you're looking at around 5.
See, if I may. I mean, I was, after I saw this, how do you define what we wanna do? And it's kind of defining the scope of the project.
Right.
What are we trying to accomplish? One way we look at, well, what can we build with X amount of money? That's one way, I'm sure we're gonna fill it. The other way is, what are our needs? Cause I know we talked about, the weight room was one, but we got the robotics issue, cause he needs room for that, and the go-karts and all that stuff, that was talk.
Yep.
And then we've got the tech, the masonry lab, and whatever else we're gonna add to that tech. So you got kind of 3 unique needs right there that I can see. And I can't say they're needs, but they would be more conducive to those programs
Right.
being out of a classroom, if you will. In a nicer environment for those
Yeah.
kind of, and then, but I'm saying, well, you really kind of need to define that we wanna do this with that building. I.e., be able to run go-karts in there, be able to lift weights in there, be able to do this masonry program or whatever the other tech programs are we're thinking of. But
So
who defines that? And then once you define that, can we build a building within our budget, if you will?
So I think the definition is the one singular thing at this point, just the weight room, honestly. I don't know if we can build it big enough to where it would have enough additional space to do any of those other things. Okay?
And I think that's a good question if we looked at it from the other direction, instead of saying, here's what we would like to do, now can we afford it? If we go to Don and say, what is the most cost-effective, largest space we can get with a $500,000 budget? If it's just a weight room because it doesn't need plumbing, doesn't need anything like that, you can expand it, make it large enough, then that becomes perfect for a weight room. Or it becomes perfect for the robotics, or it becomes perfect for technology or anything else. If you say, what is the most efficient building you can produce, and then we have multiple options of what it can be used for. Does that kind of make sense? In my mind, that seems more efficient to say, here's a budget of money. We would like building a building that frees up space in offices or rooms or frees up more space. And then,
Well, I guess that's why I'm told,
yeah,
how we come up with this definition of what
Right.
we're trying to accomplish.
right.
I mean, I guess I thought we were more focusing on the tech programs, because that's what we're building the building for. Remember, we wanted the lab in here
But
to do that.
we
I know we got rid of this one.
We pivoted from that to keep masonry where it's at. Just weight room frees up 2 more spaces by getting the weight room out of those ag hallway classrooms.
Does that solve the robotics program and solve the go-kart issues and all? Because I know you're saying that it's difficult to get them out the door or whatever the problem is.
Yeah, that would be, it could solve those.
Okay.
It gives us additional space to work with to move our programming where it's most conducive for us to have it.
But ultimately, it doesn't free up the gym for
No.
when we have robotics competitions.
No,
Because they're gonna need that space.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
Although they
And
project
think
it, I
that
understand that.
I think that wouldn't change even if we had something for them to practice and do
Right.
different things in.
Yeah.
The competition would probably still be hosted in our gym with that volume of people.
I think I have to go with the avenue of let's see what we can get for the 500 and not just hamstring ourselves with build a fancy ass weight room. Let's get the biggest space we can get because we're never gonna have enough room ever.
And
Okay?
It's probably
So if we can get a huge building off of basic needs
Mhm.
because of requirements from the state,
Right.
we'll figure out ways to partition it down the road and split it up into whatever.
yeah,
I mean, we still have golf simulators, we have pitchers and catchers.
yeah.
I think you had brought up starters for track, track teams, just practicing their takeoffs, things they can't do maybe inside
Yeah.
there, but they could do in a separate building away from everybody else.
See, that's where I like, in a perfect world, I like that, but I think the moment that starts growing, we start getting closer to that, and we're gonna hit a ceiling on finances pretty quick. So I just think we need to keep digging more and investigating. I'm with you on that.
I mean, if he can roughly just guesstimate some numbers and say,
Yeah.
there's no way you can do more than a 80 by 100,
Uh-huh,
then we say, okay, well then we're just gonna get a weight room and that's it.
okay,
Right.
If
okay,
he says, well, you know, if you're bare bones in it, electric and some insulation, and something on the interior walls, no plumbing, no bathrooms,
just heat,
minimal heat and air
Yeah.
conditioning,
right,
Yeah.
maybe we can go 100 by 200.
okay,
It's gonna come
Well,
down to, he can put some feelers out, get some free quotes from
Yeah.
some of the builders he works with and say, okay, for a basic building, it's gonna be $30 a square foot, $50 a square foot.
okay. That's what that's
Then we
what I
can
did.
drill down if he can give us a close idea of, hey, for 500,000, you guys can do about this size, and then we can drill down further on other
options.
things.
Okay,
Or we're gonna say, nope, all we get's a weight room and that's it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. That was the conversation that helps keep us moving along.
Superintendent's report. Oh, anything else on that? Sorry. Superintendent's report. Anything, Joe?
Yeah, so before we
Okay.
jump in, and then the first, because of the first thing on the superintendent's report, but Joe did message me back. He said he will reach out to the attorney tomorrow for the 2 answers to our 2 questions. And so he said it doesn't have to be approved tonight, that it's fine that we don't do it.
Okay.
So, as soon as he gets those, we can shoot those answers over to him.
Perfect,
So we'll go back to C,
yeah.
resolution transfer real property. Can I get a motion to table that for now? till
I'll
we
make
get
that
some
motion.
answers?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, now superintendent's report.
You start with the first one?
Yeah, I'll go ahead, I'll start with the first one. So I have up here industrial arts video. So we have a student here, his name is Oren Ball. Oren is a very, very talented young man. He does videos for athletics and kind of works with Molly Dollahan. So he's kind of doing like a career internship type deal with us. He works with me, works with Sharkozy, Dollahan. He does a lot of stuff for us. And so a project that I gave him that I wanted to really showcase for our school corporation is our industrial arts, our masonry, our welding. So basically, you're going to see in this video, you're going to see Mr. Hoffman, Mr. Shively, and Mr. Clifford. And so he really went in, videos, interviews to showcase all of those new things that we have going on here at NJSP. And so I'm going to post this on our YouTube page as well for everybody else to see, but I wanted to show it to you guys first. I'm going to have sound, hold on.
Oh, your speaker's turned off.
Where?
Your window. When your menu bar came at the bottom, I saw the speakers up.
Ah, you're right. I want to turn it down though, I'm afraid it might. Computer's want to run very slow. Alright, now let's see.
Mr. Clifford teach engineering to high school, design and modeling, automation and robotics, and engineering essentials to middle school, 7th and 8th grade students. Also the elementary through high school robotics coach, middle and high school drone coach, and the EV kart team coach. Biggest lesson I try to teach my students is it's okay to fail. You just learn a way to not do it and persevere and find a way to do it. Future projects we're working on is hopefully get a robotics team to state in the world, and then the engineering high school department is building go-karts that we're going to take down to Subaru and compete against other local Indiana schools. Hopefully do well in that. Just getting to mentor the students, teaching things that they might not have seen before or a different perspective of how to look at something. Means a ton that I can share in my experiences with the students. What makes the engineering class and the design and modeling class important is they learn real-world skills of using a ruler or how to think about something in a different way. There's not always just one answer to a problem. So to get them outside their comfort zone, think about things in a different perspective, really helps them from there. I say a lot in robotics, but just keep swinging. You're gonna fail, it's gonna happen. It's okay to struggle, it's okay to fail, but you just gotta keep swinging, something will connect eventually.
I'm John Shively. I teach agriculture shop, and I teach wood turnings, and we make pens, bowls, wood turned items, many different things. I teach 8th grade class, and we do make wooden cars through the police department hand out for kids in crisis, and then we make a candy machine for the students to take home. I teach small engines. First semester we tear an engine down completely and rebuild it and get it running. Second semester they can run any engine of their choice. My last class I teach welding. We learn stick welding first, then we learn MIG welding. This year we're going to be building welding up 3 parts for Mr. Clifford's class. People like to be respectful so that they can get a job and keep it. I kind of look at myself less than a teacher and more of an instructor. I give the kids the basics, and we learn the basics and the foundations of what we're doing, whether it's turning or whether it's welding, whether it's learning the tools or what parts are of a small engine. And then I instruct them and help them, guide them, meet their goals. Because if I'm just a teacher and just do this and then if it's not right, it fails, nobody learns anything. The welding class, it can be a career. I have a lot of students out there in the community that have made careers out of welding. They've used it for starting points and have jumped off and become management, things like that. Others are still in the welding skills. But as a whole, it pays one of the higher rates in our county. For that one, for a lot of my kids, it's a way to make a living, a good living. Be kind to people. It'll always pay dividends.
Well, my position as a teacher is more of a masonry instructor than anything. First classes like the juniors would take it's got some carpentry, introduction to carpentry, introduction to construction, introduction to masonry. And that's for the first year, and if they take the class the second year, it's all masonry involved. So it's really me trying to give them an overall idea of how construction and their options, and actually getting more specialized on the masonry side of it. I think the biggest lesson I strive to teach them is to take pride in their work. So if you're going to build anything, you might as well build it right the first time and be proud of it. And as you look at it down the road, years from now, if you look at a building you worked on, you can tell your kids or your wife or whoever that, hey, I worked on that with a bunch of my buddies. We have a softball dugout at Culver High School that we're going to work on probably in a month from now. And I believe the school here has a building they want us to work on. Well, I'm sure we'll get in a lot more things in the future next year as we get our skills. Well, to be honest, I haven't really been asked that before, but I think it's an opportunity to teach kids something that they can make a career out of. And I'd like to think that I can teach them some life lessons that no matter what field they go into, that I can help them in the future. Well, I think the importance of it is, like you said, being a contributing member to society, that they have something that they can do, when they graduate, and they can make a good living, take care of their families. And a lot of these buildings can be schools or medical buildings and things of that nature that contribute to society. What piece of advice? Just treat your coworkers well. You know, if they're younger, sometimes when you go into the trade, the older guys can expect a lot out of you, be a little rough on you. And I think it's got a lot better, like how we interact with the younger generation. And I just think when people would just treat their coworkers and their family members, friends, just treat everybody like you want to be treated.
Very good.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Warren's talented in that realm for sure. So he's making some nice content for us.
Does that go on the school's Facebook page also, or is it
I'll,
gonna get shoved out everywhere?
yeah, like, so I'll have it posted on our YouTube. I'd like to do that by the end of the week. And then that way, the schools and their Facebook pages, they can share the link to, for people to go check that out.
You're gonna tag some like contact stuff at the back of that there or something?
On the YouTube page, yeah, like, I mean, like,
If you're interested, contact such and such.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Okay.
It should go on the website too.
Yeah.
There should be a link to it.
we can have a link on there, the website, check that out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks for setting that up, Norm.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. We know that we're finishing up this week and we got a week of spring break coming. Reminder, I'll be gone for that week, so just so you know where I'm at, what I'm up to. Skill update. So, a couple weeks, let me start with the actual update. So Skill, as you know, has been our third-party provider for auto tech for some time. We are bringing that to a close. I am the Skill Board president right now. So for our high school kids, Knox High School will have that programming. It'll still be in the same building next year. But so that third-party provider of Skill will not be in charge of that. So Knox High School will. So it'll be a shared CTE program, just like our welding over there, vet tech, those types of things. Linda Lewandowski works in the office at Skill, and so she's kind of operating as the director here towards the end. Anyways, she had asked me a couple weeks back if I would be the guest speaker or keynote speaker for their graduation. I said, sure, I'd be happy to. And I looked at the calendar. It's our May board meeting night. So I don't know if you guys would be open to moving that up a week to the 12th. If it doesn't work, she's got 2 months. We can pivot to one of the other superintendents or our CTE director, but I just thought I'd throw that out there. Since I had told her I would do it, I'd be happy to do it, but just the calendar this time of year, not too many openings. So, if you need time to look out, since that's a little ways out, and get back to me, we can do it that way too.
What was the date again? I'm sorry.
May,
May 12th.
yeah, move it up a week to May 12th.
I'm okay.
I'm fine with that.
Sheila, do you need some time to check your calendar?
I can't think of anything that's going on that early in May. The band and choir is done and the play's over, and so
Okay.
I think it'll be fine.
So everyone's okay with moving the May meeting up a week to the 12th?
Yep.
Okay.
He's outvoted.
Great. Well,
I'll make it work.
I appreciate that. Okay, we will get plenty of reminders of that and get that pushed out too. Yeah, so then that takes me to our seeds update. So, due to financial headwinds have really been pushing against our seeds program. And Sheila and I have been kind of figuring this out here for our last couple of meetings. because we were doing great with enrollment, and we had climbed up and we had crescendoed at about 68 kids in that program. But the elimination of On My Way Pre-K, funding for preschool and daycare that was helping make that a success is gone. And so I had a conversation with the SEEDS director, and it's just right now, financially, it is not a strong business model for her right now. So I wanted to put that on your radar that, you know, her commitment is to get us through to the end of the school year, but we may be recalibrating and figuring out what next with that.
How many kids is that gonna affect then?
Well, we're down to full day kids in that program right now. It has dropped to 15, and 10 more come after school. So that,
Funding cut by the
That
state?
funding cut, just cut her off at the knees.
yeah,
It killed the program.
some federal, some state funding, major cuts to that. And it's everywhere. There's an unbelievable number of preschools, daycares that have closed statewide. So,
And I believe you told me she has already closed her site at Plymouth,
Culver,
Culver.
yep, Max's Playhouse, so that's already shut down, but she's just trying to get us through because it is in the middle of the school year. She is bare bones on her staff, and,
So once the funding dried up was when the enrollment went down?
yeah. Yeah, because basically without some of those funding sources that help parents be able to pay for that service, they've pivoted back to find grandma, grandpa, a consortium of parents who will help each other out, but they just can't pay for that. So we were making gains and strides there, but it's taken a major setback.
And that was a precursor feeder into our school?
That was part of this whole model, yeah,
And it was successful.
yeah.
Those kids were going right from there from the
Pretty much,
preschool right
yeah.
into kindergarten.
Yeah, the SEEDS program was servicing from newborns up through preschool, and then they would just head right down and join us for kindergarten. But it's,
I suppose that shortfall can't be.
Yes.
Otherwise.
it is. That's a major expense for people, is either childcare or preschool, either one. Not cheap. So I wanted to catch up to speed on that, and I'm sure there'll be more information coming. We have our next steering committee meeting with that group on the 8th of April, so. And then lastly, just to give you a final wrap up on Saturday's robotics competition. You saw Mr. Clifford there at the beginning of the video. We had 3 teams that were down there, and the kids were a little disappointed. Sonny and I were talking earlier, it's one of those things, it's no different than a football team making a state finals run or a basketball team. You gotta have a little bit of luck involved. Things have to tilt your way. It's gotta be your day. So they kind of started out, all 3 teams, middle of the pack, and that's just where they kind of remained for the day. But when I listened to Coach Clifford tell him, you guys have to understand something. This is our first year doing this. Go back a handful of months, and you guys had to ask, well, what's robotics? And what you gotta realize is, out of about 1,000 teams total in Indiana, when you made the state finals, you were in the top 10%. So Saturday, being middle of the pack, you finished about top 5% in the state of Indiana. So good on them, good on the kids, and his goal is to only get more teams there again and eventually get a state champion and then a berth into the robotics world's championship.
Oh my.
So
as in because I can only relate this to athletics, were these underclassmen that went down to state, or were they a senior class? Or?
it's there's 3 levels. They call the robotics world, they call their levels elementary, middle school, high school, but they don't actually go by which building you're in. They're age related. So a middle school age kid might be able to stay an extra year in elementary or might step up on the back end and go in the high school category. So it's more age related. They just use those terms. We have, I believe, all of our kids except one are back that were there Saturday. 2 of the teams were middle school age kids. So they're chomping at the bit to get.
So kind of like, you know, hey,
Yeah.
we made it. We know what we're up against. We
Yes.
know where we're at. We know how to get back
Yes.
there and improve and build, rather than, okay, I got there, I'm a
Yes.
senior, I'm gone.
No,
Now the next group has to
Exactly.
start all over again.
they've gotten to see the level of competition and that there's no class to this. So it's everybody from, you know, Crown Point size schools to our size schools and even homeschool consortiums. Can put a team into these things. So it's really cool.
And I assume learned a lot from
Oh, yeah,
bigger schools and kids that have been at it more.
That's right.
Things they can bring back and
yeah,
build upon.
yep. So they're excited about tackling it again.
Very good.
Yeah. So that was, yeah, it was a good weekend. Happy for them. I didn't put this on the list, but I know since I was down there, I didn't get to see, usually love to be at our regional host site. Did you
No.
attend? Oh, okay. 2 great games, we were hosted there. And I already, even though I wasn't there, I heard from a couple people I know at 2 of the schools who said, you guys always do a great job hosting that. We got a lot of things going well for us for that venue. And it's nice that we've had it for as long as we have, because that's a nice boom for this town too, that Saturday, that many people coming in from other places, so. Mike and Brian did a real good job with that, and everybody else that helped them. That was it, that's all I have.
Any old business? I have 2 things in the other column before anybody else has anything.
Okay.
Can we do something with the light? Last month, it's dark out here, it's pitch black, I was wondering if I was gonna back into something.
Oh, we are live
No,
here?
you're right, I think
That light's not working, and I
It
don't
wasn't
know, can
working.
we get another one in the back, or just to light this, cause when you leave here at night,
It's dark.
it's pitch black. I mean, you cannot see anything.
Okay.
And then the other thing. Maybe I'm the only one that had problems with Packet this month because of the way it got rolled out.
it was,
Carly.
I had emailed her, she said she had to do it that way because of the size of it.
Uh-huh.
Can we look into board docs?
Okay.
Did you use that where you were at?
No,
and we've never used it here either.
no, but I know places that do, yeah.
The,
Can you check it out?
The accountant I use in Valpo, her secretary, she was on the board in Hebron, and they brought board docs over there. It's a little more open, friendly, for people to find agendas and minutes rather than trying to go through the website and click over here and over here. Staff can get into it. It's more, I guess I wanna say more secure, because then anything that we would have access to for packets and anything like that, we don't take with us when we leave. All those ones to our personal emails, we have forever once we leave.
Right,
We don't get
yeah,
future ones,
that's true.
but all the 4 years previous, I mean, we have all that information. There's nothing really to be done with it, but it just tightens things up.
Yeah,
It maybe doesn't send so much stuff to our personal emails.
gotcha. Yeah, we can look at that. Yeah, she had come and told me, she said, now, if you hear from anybody, let me know, and,
So I must be the only one that had problems with it.
Well, mine loads into Google Docs. It goes into my Google account, and then it opens just fine on my phone.
Yeah.
Now, it won't open up on my
The
phone, but
size
it'll
of
go
the
into my
file.
File storage? Oh,
yeah,
On my laptop, it wasn't an issue.
okay.
I agree, I don't like the attachment format, but I didn't know there was alternatives. If there is, I would appreciate that.
Because then once I finally did figure out how to get it, because I do have a Google account for something else, I only had one part of it, just part 3. I couldn't even see the first 2 parts.
Okay,
So I told
Okay,
her, I
so
said,
there's
you know what,
some
just leave it alone, we'll discuss it at the meeting. But if we can look into board docs and see what that's gonna take, what it costs, what kind of training it takes.
okay.
She said her and another lady on the board went to the training or figured out, and they just basically taught it to everybody. I don't think it's that difficult.
Probably wouldn't be.
And then it just cleans everybody's personal emails up. There's one spot for everything for everybody.
Okay.
You have, I assume you have your own personal logins.
That's what I would think, yeah. I would imagine it's a login, username and password.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
That's all I have.
Just want to mention that there is a choir concert this Thursday at 6 o'clock. The band is not playing this time. They took up most of their time with pep band. So, but the choir is doing about a, I think I've said 48-minute program
Okay.
with a lot of the students who won gold medals at the state. They're performing their things, as well as the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and high school choirs. So if you have a chance,
And you said
please
6.
attend.
Is that the high school?
Excuse me?
Is that the high school?
Yes, in the auditorium,
And you said 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
I guess I do have one more thing, just as a side note. I was told when I came on, and Sonny got told last year when he came on, it appears that it's the newest board member that does hands the diplomas at graduation,
Oh,
unless you have an issue with it. Just something to put in your mind, unless somebody has a reason they want to
I think
hand
it's
something to
perfect.
somebody, or
I would be honored.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just a thing in your mind if somebody has a conflict or wanna have.
What's we did the calendar the other meeting.
Do we
What's
have a?
the
Or if somebody
I'm sure
has,
we
if you have
do we
somebody
a time
graduate
for
that you wanted to hand
Is
to,
is
or.
this now an evening thing?
No.
Is
I
that what it is?
believe it is. I don't
Yeah,
have
moved
that.
it. But they moved it to the evening,
Yeah.
5 or 6, because it'll be in.
I think that's right. I've got it somewhere, but I don't know if I'd be able to find it easily.
Well,
Alright.
they'll get to
I'll
us.
email it out.
Yeah. That's
It's on the calendar when it is,
And
but
it'll be May 31st.
And this one is moving inside this year, is that right?
Yeah, because as soon as school's out, they're gonna start ripping up the track.
That's right.
And that's the reason why, or we're
Yeah.
gonna go back in there moving forward?
Well, I know that's the reason why for this. I don't know if we've made that a permanent decision.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll wanna see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
The good thing is unlike before, but now we have the, gym floor covers. And so then they can put those down and put chairs and everything on them. So we keep our floor in nice, good condition.
Alright. Anybody got anything else? We have no visitors. So, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.